What up, VH? Welcome back to another episode of The Chatterbox. We return again to Borderlands 3, and today we're going to be talking about Sanctuary 3, your home away from home. But be warned, there are mild spoilers in these woods. Sanctuary 3 is your awesome spaceship in space. It acts like an outpost or public space in most games. It's your vessel to travel to all the planets in the Iridia galaxy. We don't have exact confirmation of the name of the Borderlands 3 galaxy, but from the name of Typhon DeLeon's map, Celestica Iridia, we can gather it means the stars and planets of Iridia, ergo the galaxy of Iridia. Sanctuary 3 will change with you as you progress in the game, adding more characters and critters and unlocking new items to display in the many areas of the ship through crew challenges. Crew challenges are planet-side quests and events that are completed for crew members aboard Sanctuary 3, which slowly unlock aesthetics around the ship, like vehicle mods in the hangar bay, headhunter trophies in Hammerlock's quarters, fun decorations in your own private stateroom, including displaying your favorite guns and gear on your wall. The rest of Sanctuary 3 is host to our familiar companions from the past titles. Let's start our tour in the crew quarters common area on Deck Bravo in the aft end of the ship. This is the room you will return to anytime you fast travel back to Sanctuary, as it's host to the ship's only fast travel station. Here we find the door to your private stateroom. To the left at the entrance is your player bank to store any gear you want to stow away for later use. Your private quarters is viewable by others while playing in co-op. That's why we see 4 doors in this room. They open up joining a full team of Vault Hunters in co-op play to show us our companions' customized quarters. In the crew quarters common area, you'll find the Lost Loot Machine, a pretty awesome new addition in my opinion. Ever facepalm when that unique legendary falls off a cliff, or just wonder what loot you might have missed in your travels that you'll never realize? That awesome skin or the one head you need that you might have just let slip through your fingers, or the tires as you sped off after that psycho hit and run, you disgusting sicko. Well, fret no further with the Lost Loot Machine. Oh yeah, and a quick change station. Next, moving forward along the starboard side, we see the Golden Chest. This chest is a familiar return from Borderlands 2. This chest is opened up by using golden keys obtained in-game or through shift codes found throughout the real world in various ways. Easiest way for Borderlands 2 is by following the Borderlands Twitter account and keeping updated every time they posted new codes. Personally, I think you should just have fun. If you want to use a golden key, use it. Don't try to overanalyze the cost versus benefit of when to use it or waiting till level 50. It doesn't matter. The best guns in the game can be found through normal gameplay anyways. This just gives you the possibility of beefing up your inventory during gameplay when you might have a gun rut or want to find that next boost. And don't forget to admire the artwork around the ship. Very entertaining. Next, we have Marcus, who set up shop on Deck Bravo's starboard side just forward of the crew quarters. He has ammo and storage deck upgrades for sale, along with several vending machines and a target practice minigame downstairs in his shop. There are 2 modes to choose from, normal and challenge, both relatively simple. Just bring a gun with a tight spread and great hipfire accuracy for easier shooting. The shooting range is also located on Deck Charlie next to the cargo bay, but we'll get there later. First, let's admire some more of the wonderful environment. Next, we have Mad Moxie's new saloon, Zero Facts Given. Stop in here for drinks and slots. You dirty, dirty slots. This game has more detail on the slot machines with individual unique names: Loot Boxer, Vault Line, Cash Trap, and Tink's Hijinks. Vault Line is the only of the slot machines that requires Iridium currency for use, but has a great payout for endgame quality gear possibilities. You can check the sabotage meter over here in the back as well. It tracks your total progress in the game for broadcast sabotage missions. Oh, and this gem. No touching. Seriously, Gearbox, when I saw this, I was waiting for a prompt that said touch it, and then your character burns his finger and Moxie yells,
"Read the sign, dumbass."
And don't forget, if you're gonna stand around and admire Moxie's, textural complexity, why not give her a nice tip for being so, texturally complex? But just the tip.
Just the tip?
Like previous titles, Tipping Moxie awards some interesting weapons with unique traits. The rest of Moxie's lair includes a stage and a piano, along with sitting room for some good R&R. The rest of Bravo Deck includes the engine room, passageways, and it looks like Clap ignored the wet paint signs. Okay, so here's something interesting. The most important gases in breathable air monitoring are oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon dioxide. As you can see from this display, it's closely monitored by the Sanctuary life support systems, as well as CH4, which, in case you didn't know, is methane. I guess Sanctuary 3 keeps beans in plentiful stock. Now let's make our way up to Deck Alpha, but first let's not forget to admire the art.
It's not a dick.
It's a dick.
Okay, this is probably my favorite joke on this ship. Heatant. Heatant and coolant. Coolant is used, wouldn't you know it, to keep something cool, and so we can assume that heatant, which by the way isn't a thing, is meant to keep something hot. If this were a normal propulsion system, coolant supplied keeps critical components cooled while the return supply of the coolant is now hot and needs to go somewhere to become cooled, which we can assume isn't important in space as the ship could just run the pipes external to the ship and cool everything down that way. And heatant, well, in space, a ship doesn't need a refrigeration system, but it definitely needs heating to keep the ship habitable for the crew. By the way, before I was a voice actor and content creator, I was a submarine technician. So working on and living in a self-sustained atmosphere in an uninhabitable environment is kind of my thing. But the heating can just be supplied down to the galley, so they don't have to use gas or electricity to cook with. And it probably keeps all the showers hot. Just try not to remember that your shower and drinking water comes from recycled pee-pee. Okay, moving forward. The first room we see portside on Deck Alpha is the sick bay, or infirmary. Here we'll find no Dr. Zed, but Patricia Tannis tinkering and researching in all her craziness. First time you encounter her, you get a very Han Solo-esque entrance as she climbs her way out of a dead skag where she kept herself warm after the ship's critical support systems went offline.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Inside the infirmary, you'll find a med vendor and a mysterious-looking symbol carved into stone, which you may have noticed in other locations throughout Pandora and further in your travels. But we'll talk about those in another video. Looks like Tannis is getting some intimate reading done. And look! The ship's computer systems are still jacked up. Okay, now we're gonna make our way forward towards the bridge, but first, we'll stop to admire the cold vacuum of space through what I can only imagine is the trash disposal room. Now just next to the door to control, we see a big red pipe cluster running in the overheads. The pipe itself has the word main printed on it. Not sure if it was intended this way or if they had a former sailor in their dev team, but red pipes are usually meant to indicate firefighting water on a ship. And main refers to fire main as the main pipe that runs the length of the ship to be used for fire suppression. But then it's capped off here oddly, and doesn't run to the rest of the ship. Either way, kudos Gearbox. Okay, to the bridge. So first we pass a short corridor full of monitors and probably the ship's auxiliary systems and controls, and doors to additional crew berthing. Inside the bridge we see more computers and a star map used for planetary travel. Overall, not much else to see in here, except at the very front of the ship we see stairs going one level down to a locked room. Oh, and it'll clap again, saving everyone's butt like usual, doing all the work and getting none of the glory. Let's make our way back aft and explore more of Alpha Deck. First, moving aft along starboard side, we have old Hammerlock's lair. We see all his trophies spread out in a displaying fashion for us to remember those fond memories of bloodshed while accomplishing Hammerlock's crew challenges. Oh, the carnage. Moving further aft starboard side, we see what looks like an airlock, and directly across from it, port side, we see the same. Let's wait and see if we get to shoot anyone out of it later. Okay, now let's make our way down to the cargo bay to meet up with Ellie. But let's not forget to take a second on our way down the stairs to pour one out for old Scooter. He caught his ride, boys. For all of us.
Catch a ride!
Welcome to the cargo bay. We have a few notable things in here. First, this place will be slowly customized and improved to reflect your in-game progress for vehicle discovery and completion of Ellie's crew challenges by discovering new vehicle parts. Next, we have Crazy Earl on the forward end behind his locked door. This time, Crazy Earl doesn't sell storage deck upgrades, he sells cosmetics. Sweet, sweet cosmetics. We can take a quick look at everything he offers and see there's quite a large option for customization of your character's look in Sanctuary 3's aesthetic. Next to Crazy Earl is a veteran's loot vendor which deals out some decent medium range level scaled weapons at the cost of iridium. Now let's check out Claptrap's quarters. Claptrap is hard at work building himself a new companion from all the parts you scavenged planetside for him. Another crew challenge to complete. If we head to the port aft area of the cargo bay, we find our way to the drop pods used to travel planetside. And that's Sanctuary 3. Let's go over some honorable mentions and some oddities discovered throughout Sanctuary 3. While in orbit on Sanctuary, we see that the ship seems to bob up and down like it's a ship floating on water. That's strange. Not really how space works. Unless, of course, the ship has some form of gyroscopic alignment and small thrusters that are used to keep it aligned, and it works on small microbursts of air to gently rock it back and forth in position. Yeah, I had to reach far for that one. When you first enter Sanctuary, Ellie asks Lilith to name the ship. Ellie was likely the person in charge of the ship's overhaul and refit, yet the ship's computers and floors have Sanctuary 3 displayed all over it. Either Ellie is blind or the developers got a little lazy. Oh no, we're floating! Where's the gravity? Wait, we're not floating, we're walking on air, like Space Jesus! All the screens on Sanctuary display fatal error before the ship even malfunctions. Curious. Another circumstance of misaligned continuity, maybe. The music for the ship is freaking beautiful. It sounds like a hidden track on the new Tool album. Tina turned her bunkers and badass character sheet into a ship system, apparently. We have echologs scattered throughout the ship to find for each of the 4 Vault Hunters with a little backstory insight. You can find Flax in a little nook in the stairwell just aft of Moxie's. Moses' Echo is under the main engines in the engine room just forward of the crew quarters, sitting at one of the computers. Zane's Echo is located in the furthest aft starboard corner of Deck A behind Hammerlock's quarters, and Amara's Echo is located in Moxie's bar on one of the far tables. Thank you for watching, everyone. As always, I hope this video was entertaining and informative. Leave me a comment if you think there was anything interesting I left out, or anything you thought was particularly interesting in Sanctuary. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay current with all new content coming your way. Take care.